Jesus way,
oh, the Jesus way,
is the way of peace.
is the way of peace.
Oh, the Jesus way,
Oh, the Jesus way,
is the way of peace.
is the way of peace.
Oh, the Jesus way is the way of peace. When he is king, all wars will cease. May his peace begin with me. I'm gonna beat my sword
Gonna beat my sword
into a plow.
into a plow.
Gonna beat my sword
Gonna beat my sword
into a plow.
into a plow.
Gonna beat my sword into a plow. Christ is king in my life now. May his peace begin with me.
Cross Keys Village, the Brethren Home community, had a humble beginning in 1908 for some of the elderly brethren of southern Pennsylvania. At that time, it was known as the Home, and the brethren were known as the German Baptists. The Home was actually a farmhouse, and over the years, many of its residents were local farmers and their wives. It became a home for those handful of folks who lacked the financial resources and the family support to care for themselves. Hello, I'm Brent Carlson. Welcome to Brethren Voices. Today, Cross Keys Village of New Oxford, Pennsylvania provides residence for 1,100 seniors in all types of housing, including single-family homes, apartments, cottages, and assisted living, as well as nursing care. It's located on over 300 acres of land in southern Pennsylvania. In the late 1980s, in-house television programming came to Cross Keys Village, and its residents began receiving news and information on TV in their homes and apartments. The program, In Touch, became a daily reality. The 30-minute program was used to communicate to everyone on its campus and campus life. Since that time, thousands of programs have been produced over 25 years, and it is most likely the longest ongoing television program produced by a Brethren organization. News, information, devotions, and entertainment are broadcast Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. each morning. This edition of Brethren Voices features a very special program with host Grace Pinter, who actually hosted the In Touch program for over 18 years and retired at the age of 94. During that time, Grace also produced thousands of games and contests for telephone call-ins, which provided a way for viewers to participate while watching the program at home. Grace passed away in May 2014, and she is remembered for her many contributions to life at Cross Keys. The In Touch program is produced by Cindy Hockensmith and has been for many years. So here it is, In Touch.
I am so glad that our Father in heaven of his book in the book he has given. Wonderful things in the Bible I see. This is the dearest that Jesus loves me.
Channel 25 and In Touch have been going on long enough that I'm not sure I can tell you, I'm not sure anybody who's here can tell you all the background of how it got started. I know, though, for a community like this, we have been doing it for a long time. And we have a picture in our centennial history book of a program being recorded here. And the cameraman has his bib overalls on, and you know, it goes back a ways. To me, the important part is that for an organization like this one that's gone as far as it has in over 105 years now, there have been a lot of people who have made us what we are today by exhibiting and acting on extraordinary vision. And I think Channel 25 is part of that vision, that somebody at some point realized that communicating with our audience of people who live here and entertaining that audience, informing that audience, was done by video in a lot of ways better than it was done in print, or at least reaching different people in different ways. Cindy Hockensmith, who's the producer-director of In Touch, devotes a significant part of her job to that program. Writing the script for the program, coordinating with the volunteers who help make it happen. We have volunteer producer-directors, we have volunteer camera operators, the hosts are all volunteers, musicians, guests, and so on. And making all that happen takes a lot of time on her part. It is, however, something that our inquiries into the residents and villagers here have told us is being watched and is appreciated. And so that's why we felt that it's justified to spend that amount of time doing it.
Cindy, you're responsible for an in-house TV studio in Cross Keys Village, but you have other responsibilities as well. Tell us about your responsibilities.
Okay, well, it does go beyond producing the TV show. As communications coordinator, I work closely with the public relations director, and there's a lot of things that I do that really don't seem like they fit under my title. Like we have that carol on outside that plays music. I program that.
Oh, you do?
I do.
I heard that today.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty, isn't it?
You do.
Let's see.
But many of the events at Cross Keys are televised on the in-house TV network.
Yes.
So from religious services to special events, those things can be viewed by people who are at home and not able to actually attend.
Exactly.
And you're responsible for all that.
Yeah, yeah. I have a wonderful group of volunteers, a handful, that I've trained, and they're able to broadcast, and they do a wonderful job, and it just brings a lot of joy to the people here that can't get out.
I saw a second studio by the chapel.
Yes.
It's a full studio with a control room and cameras and all that?
Right, it's a broadcasting booth,
Okay.
a control room, exactly. It's not like the Studio 25,
All right.
but you can broadcast from there.
How many volunteers does it take to run this network?
Well, it's definitely not a one-man job.
Because you have cameramen, you have
Yes.
control room operators, you have hosts, and people who do the Daily Show, the In Touch program.
Right, right.
Do you know what's the total amount of people that you're working with?
It's a lot of coordination of people. You figure on a daily basis there's at least 5 people on each show working. And then if I have any special guests, that's
more.
addition, yep.
And you have so many volunteers that different days you have different people.
Yes, yeah.
So you could easily have 25 or 30 people working under your direction.
In a week, yeah.
I was intrigued with some of the people that work with you that have never done this before.
Right.
You know, one was a minister.
Yeah.
He's never done a TV cameraman job, but he loves
Right.
to do it, and I think
Yeah.
he does it. Looks forward to it whenever he has a chance, which I think is twice a week.
Yeah.
I met you in a studio at Cross Keys, which is a fully furnished video TV studio, and you were the cameraman.
Yes, that's one of my volunteer jobs.
And I understand you volunteer almost every day in different things. So what kind of volunteering do you do at Cross Keys and other places?
Oh goodness, there's no end to volunteer jobs, really. No, that's just one of the great things about living here, is so that I can work. I don't want to sit and do nothing, and the volunteer jobs are just abundant. Yes, I volunteer every Monday and Friday doing the camera for the In Touch program. Then
And In Touch is an in-house, like a morning TV
yes, and just
program.
yeah, we make the announcements about things that are going on. We celebrate birthdays. We joke around a little bit. We play a little game, and there are just different things like that. But every morning, 5 days a week, And then on the fourth Tuesday, I happen to be the one who sits in as one of the hosts.
Oh, wonderful.
And they call me another time to be one of the co-hosts. We usually have one of the chaplains, and we close with a devotional. I'm a retired Presbyterian minister, and so they call me in to often co-host with them to be that chaplain.
Oh, wonderful. So you get to use
I
some
love it. Yeah, it's just a nice way to, we just talk and have interesting conversation, joke around a bit, and make our announcements, do whatever.
April the 1st, 1853, Cincinnati, Ohio became the first U.S. city to pay firefighters a regular salary.
They were the first to have paid firefighters. Cincinnati. And it's no April Fool's joke, is it? It's not an April Fool's joke.
Oh, no.
Because you said April 1st.
1853.
Okay.
Maybe that was a April Fool's joke to Cincinnati.
Maybe it was.
That's one of the greatest things about Channel 25, I think, is that it gives people who live here the opportunity to get involved in something that for them is really rewarding. It's a lot of fun. And so we have people, as I said before, we have people who operate the cameras, our hosts are volunteers, the campus pastoral ministry staff in particular is on quite frequently because we have a devotional aspect of the program. We have volunteer producer directors. We have a volunteer who can come in when Cindy's on vacation and script the program. So these are all people who are interested in doing something very specific, something that parallels their interests, and who are very good at it, and we're blessed to have them around.
When you look in that control room in both places, it looks overwhelming. You know, you look at that, and especially older people, if they didn't work with the type of technology, they'd look in there and go, oh, I can't do that. But they were willing to learn, and they found out. It does look scary, but once you learn it, it's not so bad, and they do a wonderful job.
Well, I think you're doing a wonderful job because you're
Oh, thank
taking
you.
volunteers who are residents at Cross Keys and turning them into a TV production team who do the hosting and do the filming and the recording and the control. All of that
Yeah.
is phenomenal to me.
Well, thank you.
And you're doing a wonderful job, and I'm sure people like it.
Thank you. They seem to like it.
So in the control room, as you said, it's overwhelming. There's all kinds of equipment in there.
Yeah.
Who maintains the equipment?
Well, I do. Of course, I don't repair these things by myself. Well, some I can, but a lot of it goes beyond my knowledge. And I have a wonderful communications corporation that I call upon.
And they'll come and fix
And
whatever
they'll come
you need.
in and work with me and let me know if it's fixable or needs to be replaced.
I also heard that you do some editing and you do in-house program recording, so there's actual events that are recorded and then edited and then reproduced and shown on your TV network,
Yeah, yep,
and you do that.
I do that.
Wonderful.
That I haven't trained anybody to help me with as of yet, but it's so time-consuming editing, as you probably know,
I do know.
and I don't have the time to train somebody to do that portion.
Well, I'm starting to wonder how you do all of this in a 40-hour week. I understand you're interested in games. Are those computer games, or are those like Sudoku, or what kind of games are you interested in?
Well, I have another volunteer that provides me with several games that she handwrites, and then I will incorporate that into PowerPoint. And then I can put that up on the screen for the viewers to watch. And then
So there's in the in-house TV network,
yeah.
you have like a Keno or some other kind of game that people can play.
Well, no, during my show.
Oh, during
so
the
it's
show.
live, yep.
Oh.
And like trivia, for instance. And she writes these trivia, finish the phrase, and Bible trivia. And then I type them up into PowerPoint. And then during the show, we play these games.
So these are games, you're writing games and putting them on PowerPoint that people can play while they're watching the InTouch TV
Right,
program?
right.
So how do they play the game? What do they do?
Well, they just call in, and it's on a conference phone, so everybody hears the caller, and if they get the correct answer at the end of the game. Nobody gets any big prizes or anything, just the notoriety that they won.
They won.
The week after week, some of them are continuous winners.
Wonderful. Well, that's a way to include your audience in the program.
They seem to really get engaged with the games. They do like the games.
Good morning.
Fifth grade science.
Fifth grade science. Okay. In the
They're coming.
1830s, what British naturalist developed a theory of natural selection by studying the animals in the Galapagos Island? Are the fifth graders you all have yours?
I'll take a peek.
Okay, which of our fifth graders would you like to peek at?
The one there with the red hat.
Which red hat?
right.
That's Bill, I guess. Bill Stelger?
Bill Stelger, yeah.
Okay. And he said Darwin. Do you accept his answer?
Yes, I do.
All righty. Okay. And that's 5 points for Harvey's up.
And 5 for Bill, right?
Yes, and 5 for Bill.
Thank you for calling.
Okay, next caller. Months ago, Harvey was the only one out there.
Good morning.
Fifth grade music.
Fifth grade music.
Okay, what composer wrote the ballet The Nutcracker in 1892? Write your answers, don't give the answer yet. Okay, would you like to take see one of their answers, Doris?
I'll take the dance.
His answer is
Oh,
J.
George, you're bad.
I take it you're not accepting his answer.
No,
Okay, do you want to give your own answer?
I don't have one.
Just take a wild guess.
Oh, I'll take that.
Okay.
That's cheating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't think either one of them gets a point, but Tchaikovsky is the right answer.
You tried, George. Thank you for calling.
I think one of the every day or every week at least feedbacks is that the program does have call-in aspects. It has contests, quizzes, trivia in particular is quite popular. And you see a lot of people who call in. We have a phone here on the set, and when they're doing quizzes, there's no break in calls coming in, people trying to answer. So we know they're out there. At the same time, we know, like any audience, that this audience changes from time to time as new people come in. And so we need to keep that awareness that preferences may change on the part of our audience, and we need to continue to adapt and to evolve with the program to make sure that it fulfills the expectations of the people we're trying to reach. The nice thing about a program like the fashion show is that it accomplishes several things. It's intended to help the Almost New shop sell more clothing, and that's a fundraiser for our auxiliary, which is important. But it also is probably one of the most watched shows on Channel 25 because people can see their friends as fashion models, and that's great. And that brings everybody together, which then becomes kind of a community building exercise for us. And so it's just a winner on a lot of counts, and it's a great thing to watch. Everybody has a lot of fun with it. How she's able to do it is a mystery. That's not the part for me to tell. She does a great job of it, and she does it in between other parts of her job. She assists me as communication director in our media relations and our internal communication. She's involved in quite a few other video projects here. We have a show for our fundraising, the foundation. They have a program that airs. We have a program that airs as kind of a video complement to our printed team member newsletter, Keynotes, and she's involved in all of those. She also is involved in videotaping educational activities for team members, training sessions, that sort of thing. And then because so many of the people who live here, particularly in this building in nursing and personal care, are not mobile or not as mobile as they'd like to be and can't always come to events in person, we do try to televise as many cultural and entertainment activities as we can, the ones that are held here, so those people who can't get out can watch them in their rooms. And while again we have volunteers who do most of that work, she supervises that whole process and makes sure that everything runs right.
One of the things I'm really curious, because you've worked here how many years?
I'm here 16 years.
Wow. And what did you do before coming to Cross Keys?
Oh, I kind of was a jack of all trades. I've done a lot of things in my life, but mainly secretarial.
Very different from a TV producer.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was this role here, my position, I grew with the position. A lot of the things I do, I've self-taught myself. And like I said, I've grown with my position.
Well, when you say a jack of all trades, you learn a lot of skills that you must be applying in your job now.
I suppose I have, yeah. I've done oddball jobs, like I made hearing aids.
Oh, really?
Years ago, yeah, yeah.
What do you like most about your job?
I think what's kept me here as long as I am here is the people I work with. They're just, it's like family. And, you know, a lot of people say that, but I truly mean that. I don't think I would have stayed as long as I have.
As I walk down the hallways, I'm delighted and really intrigued that so many people say hello. And so many people are friendly and helpful at Cross Keys. It must be a wonderful community for people who live here and people who work here.
I think so. My father also was a resident here years ago, and so I was happy to have my dad here.
So you've had some personal experience with some
having a
loved
resident
one here.
live here, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a training program for these people?
I do. Right now I haven't done any training because the people that are working with me now are so dedicated. I haven't needed to train any new people, but we're always looking for new people.
So if somebody at Cross Keys has an interest in learning a little bit more about TV production or doing camera work or being on the show, how do they find out more? Do they just call you? Do they say, you know, what, can I do something?
Exactly. Periodically I'll put an ad in our in-house village newspaper, news article. It's called the Village Voice. And I'll do that. I'll put that out there and ask if anybody's interested. Give me a call and we'll see what maybe we can find something that you like to do. Yeah.
What do you think is the most demanding part of your job?
Oh. That's a good one.
That you can share about.
I guess it's the time and how I allot my time. I really have to be careful. I don't even have a 40-hour week. It's 37 3/4. It's even shorter.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah. So it's just really being very conscious of my time and how much I spend on each project. And
do you have projects into the future? Do you have ideas of what you'd like to do?
I always try to think ahead and hope that these things come to fruition. One of the things that I really love doing with this job is we go out in the community. I call them out and abouts, and we video places of interest for the folks who cannot get out. And everything is local so that the ones who can get out would like to go. And we've had lots of people go and visit these places after
you've shown them.
shown a video, yeah. Yeah, so that's
wonderful.
a lot of fun, yeah.
And do people ever call you up and say, could you do a little sneak preview of the Eisenhower Farm or other places like that?
No, I wish people would give me some ideas because that would be helpful.
Okay, well maybe
Sometimes
they will.
I struggle, to think of where would somebody like to go and see around here.
Wonderful. Well, Cindy Hockensmith, thank you for being with us on Brethren Voices.
Thank you so much. It was
It's
a pleasure.
delightful to be with you on this side of the camera.
Yes, I'm not always comfortable on this side of the camera.
Well, you do very well, and you speak very well, and,
Oh, thank you.
and you've given us a lot of insight into what's going on behind the scenes. For Brethren Voices, this is Brent Carlson,
And Cindy Hockensmith.
wishing you peace. Wishing you peace.
All those who tread the path he trod. All those who tread the path
while.
he trod.
Kind of had the first syllable right when he said ergo. Good morning, In Touch.
Erstwhile. Erstwhile.
Erstwhile? No. Oh,
Almost.
yeah, so close. You had the... Good morning, In Touch.
Erwell.
Erwell. E-R-E-W-H-I-L-E. That was Harvey.
All those who tread the path he trod. All those who tread the path he trod. All those who tread the path he trod shall be called the friends of God. May his peace begin with me. Oh, the Jesus way is the way of peace. Oh, the Jesus way is the way of peace. Oh, the Jesus way is the way of peace. When he is king, all wars will cease. May his peace begin